Welcome back to Nerd Flame. I am Mr. Flame, and today we're diving headfirst into the inferno of pure, unadulterated hype that's consuming the animation and blockbuster world. We're talking about the sequels, the reboots, and the highly anticipated continuations of franchises that defined our childhoods and now our adult fandom. Get ready to have your expectations set on fire, because what the biggest studios like Disney, Pixar, Marvel, DreamWorks, and Illumination have cooking for 2026 and the years immediately following is an absolute spectacle of nostalgia and new storytelling. From the deepest corners of rumor mills to the major announcements, we've sifted through the noise to bring you the biggest, most popular, and most click-worthy titles that are going to dominate cinema and stream queues for years to come. This is the ultimate breakdown of the movies that have the entire fan community buzzing, speculating, and already debating their legacy. Toy Story 5. It feels like every time Pixar says goodbye to Woody and Buzz, they just can't help but pull them back for one last, or maybe not so last, adventure, and the announcement of another entry in the Toy Story saga immediately broke the internet, as expected. The fact that the core original voice cast is rumored to be returning for this one adds an almost sacred level of excitement, because without the emotional anchor of their decades-long performance, it simply wouldn't feel right, and the potential narratives are already swirling in the depths of fan theories. Given the ending of the previous film, the biggest question is how the creative team will justify bringing these two iconic characters back together in a way that respects the emotional weight of their separation. And frankly, if they mess up the delicate balance, the backlash will be immense. Early whispers suggest a story that sees Woody and Buzz navigating the complex, decentralized world of a modern toy collection, perhaps facing a new, existential threat that requires them to call upon the wisdom and experience gained from all their past owners, making it a much more adult-leaning narrative about mentorship and legacy. There are also unconfirmed reports of the film embracing the multiverse concept that has become so popular in the superhero genre, hinting at a potential cameo of toys from entirely different Pixar worlds, which, if true, would be a massive, universe-breaking moment that would generate endless commentary and theory crafting. I, for one, am on the fence, because while the possibility of seeing the gang back together is irresistible, there's always the fear of diminishing returns for a franchise that has already delivered multiple perfect endings. But the sheer anticipation for this beloved franchise is enough to secure its place as one of the most talked about films coming in the next few years. Moana, live action. The idea of bringing the animated masterpiece Moana into the live-action space is a fascinating one, especially considering the rapid turnaround time since the original film was released, demonstrating the studio's massive confidence in this particular intellectual property. Dwayne Johnson's confirmed return as the voice and visual representation of the demigod Maui instantly elevated the project from a simple remake to a cultural event, and the search for the new actress to play the titular heroine has been one of the most closely watched casting processes in recent Hollywood history, indicating the importance of getting this character absolutely right. The original movie's incredible success was built on its stunning visuals, its groundbreaking cultural respect, and, of course, the absolutely infectious music, meaning the live-action version has an almost impossibly high bar to clear in terms of delivering a visually and audibly spectacular experience that can stand toe-to-toe with the animated version. Rumors are already circulating about a significantly expanded role for Tay Fitty, perhaps even giving her a more active, speaking part in the story's climax, which would be a major divergence from the original, but would provide an interesting new layer of depth and lore to the world of Motunui and the ancient Polynesian myths that inspired the tale. Fans are also desperately hoping that the creative team will not only retain every single song from the original soundtrack, especially the Oscar-nominated tracks, but that they will also commission new music to fill out the runtime. potentially exploring Maui's backstory or Moana's journey as a wayfinder in more detail through additional massive musical numbers that could go on to become cultural touchstones themselves. This remake is positioned not just as a cinematic event, but as a reaffirmation of the studio's commitment to diverse storytelling, with the pressure being enormous to ensure the visual effects for the ocean, Haihei the rooster, and the terrifying Kakamora look completely photorealistic, yet still retain the charm and wonder of the animation. The Incredibles 3, the long-awaited next chapter in the Parr family super saga, is one of those announcements that immediately sends a jolt of electricity through the entire fanbase, because the Incredibles franchise is universally adored for its perfect blend of family drama, superhero action, and incisive social commentary, making the wait for a third installment almost unbearable. The ending of the second film perfectly set the stage for a new era of superhero life, with the family officially operating in the open and their powers evolving, leaving fans to endlessly speculate about what new challenges and villains they will face as they try to balance saving the world with the mundane, relatable struggles of a family unit, which is the heart of the franchise's enduring appeal. Unconfirmed reports hint that the new film will take a significant time jump, focusing heavily on a teenage Jack-Jack trying to navigate high school with a wildly unpredictable and still-growing power set, which would be a brilliant way to introduce a new, relatable coming-of-age dynamic, while still featuring the full, iconic family in key roles, potentially giving the film a Spider-Man Homecoming vibe, but with a super family twist. Furthermore, there are whispers of the villain being one of the more obscure, psychologically complex foes from the original comics, or perhaps even an entirely new character who is a direct philosophical foil to Elastigirl's dedication to structure and the law, forcing the family to confront the moral ambiguity of being government-sanctioned heroes in an increasingly anti-super world. The animation style is expected to be even more refined and detailed than before, pushing the boundaries of CGI to fully realize the massive scale set pieces and the subtle, expressive character animation that is the signature of the studio, ensuring that every punch, jump, and blast looks as incredible as the title suggests, and all eyes are on how they handle Jack-Jack's growing power. The cinematic landscape for the next few years is set to be completely dominated by these colossal sequels and high-stakes reboots from the animation giants. And as Mr. Flame, I can tell you the anticipation levels are already reaching critical mass among the fandom. We've seen the subtle shift in storytelling from the simple, contained narratives of the past to these grand, interconnected universes that promise to redefine the very concept of a cinematic franchise, and the studios are placing all their chips on nostalgia and the enduring love for these classic characters to deliver record-breaking success. The mixture of genuinely announced blockbusters and those heavily rumored, fan-favorite continuations creates a swirling vortex of excitement, where every piece of news, no matter how small, becomes a global discussion. The pressure on the creative teams to deliver on these sky-high expectations is immense, but if they manage to capture that special, intangible magic that made the originals so beloved while pushing the story in bold new directions, we could be looking at a new golden age for animated and animated-adjacent films. The coming years are not just about watching movies. They're about experiencing the continuation of legends, and that is a truly spectacular prospect for every single fan of cinema and popular culture.
I didn't know this was even possible. I learned how to make money online. The link is right below in the first pinned comment.